Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
All right. Welcome, hockey fans. Welcome, Game Over Calgary plan. All right. Welcome, Game Over Calgary fans. Welcome, everybody, to this post game show. My name is Anand, your host for Game Over Calgary. Matsy, JC, everybody, welcome aboard. We'll talk about the Calgary Flames, what they ended up to tonight, and a whole lot more as people are just joining us. Welcome if you're tuning in. The chat line is wide open, so we'll get to that shortly. We'll say hello to each other, we'll interact, and much more. Bring your questions, your thoughts, and invite your friends as well. Do like, share, and subscribe this video so you enjoyed this content and much more. But the Flames, surprisingly, I'll say surprisingly in quotes, defeat the New York Rangers despite being on a back to back, despite starting Dan Vladar, despite getting to the hotel late at night, 2:45 a.m., according to Derek Wills on the Sportsnet 960 broadcast, the Flames hang around and surprisingly win this game by a score of 2-1. We'll talk about playoff implications. We'll talk about, if you want to talk about the drafts, go ahead. If you want to talk about anything else, all the chat is open to you as we speak right now. You are watching Game Over Calgary post game show. Let's get started though. Quickly ad read as always. I hate to do this to all of you, but it's my job. Let's see. Matt C is here, JC is here, and AK is here. Welcome aboard. Um, We'll talk about the surprise in just a moment's time. But hope you watched the Flames game. And that's a surprise overall. So shift into hyperdrive hockey and get ready to have some fun with a new source for all your biggest stories, bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories and pop culture, and a damn fun atmosphere that will drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Van Hout, Davin Malabau, and Kevin Lemaire every Monday and Thursday for your fill on the hockey world. Watch on Game Over Network YouTube channel or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon, or head to our website at thegameovernetwork.com. So the Flames come up with a win tonight against the New York Rangers by a score of 2-1, which was a surprise. Of course, they were on a back to back. They got demolished, they got toppled against the Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday. So I wasn't sure if the Flames would be ready to play today, and they came ready. And I think that's the most biggest surprise you can come out with, considering this team, how they are resilient. They sometimes surprise us. They sometimes, what do you call, surprise, motivate us sometimes. Whatever adjective you want to use, I think you can describe the Flames. Did they play a whole 60? Maybe, possibly. That last minute was stressful. Coleman almost got an empty net goal to make it 3-1, but it got called offside. Kadri tried to pass it to him, which was good. Usually you say Kadri might hog the puck, but he didn't this time. Pass it to Coleman. Could have gotten the 3-1 goal, but they kept it in there. And with the way the game started, especially I think a minute something in, the Rangers opening the scoring, I thought the game would have been done, but it didn't. Thanks to a game tying goal from Nazim Kadri in the first period, making it 1-1, assisted by, I believe it was Connor Zary and Mackenzie Weegar. And then after that, Mac Coronato, a beauty snipe on a power play, scored by assisted by Kadri and Vigar, make that a power play goal. And then JT Miller got partially slashed at the end of the first period, but looked like he came back all right. At one point, after that Rangers' first goal, shots were 7-1 for Flames, so they capitalized on the shots and games. And something to note, I haven't liked the opening stats for the Flames as of late. They have allowed at least the past four games to be open scoring by the opponent team. I wish they can work on that. It's either they're closing that's trouble, it's their opening that's trouble. But I think today they played a whole 60 minutes except for that first opening minute or so, and then they rebounded really well. All right, let's hit the chat line while everybody is here. Matt C says, if we need to win, we lose. If we need to start losing to drop down to the standings, we win. Exactly. Um, there are times in the season where I thought it's done, it's deflated. Then all of a sudden, like today, you see against the Rangers, if they can compete, they competed against Igor Shesterkin. Fantastic. This team will surprise you one way or another. One step back, one step forward. 100%. I mean, that's what some hockey teams are capable of, including the Flames, who still struggle scoring. They almost got a 3-1, but that was off an empty net. But still, they can't go above the two goal. Happy that Vladdy got a win, 100%. Yesterday he got pulled. Lucky came in when Dustin Bull got pulled. Gave up a shot right away, but again he gave up the first shot today. But then he was fabulous later on. Can't wait until we give the Montreal the 11th pick. Again, it's still too early. We have like 16 games left in the season. We'll have to see what direction that goes. Can the Flames chase a playoff spot? Can they remain? We'll have to wait and see. Matt C says it's a foregone conclusion at this point. AK Yo Anand, welcome. And JC saying 36-30 is a good bounce back on the back to back, 100%. Christian Merrill says Huberdeau had some good chances. Indeed, Huberdeau has been such a different player compared to last year. We usually talk about why Huberdeau is so bad. He wouldn't get any shots on. Now he takes the shots, he passes, he has good chances. He is such a much better player right now. And the line they tried today, I want to keep them the same. It's working. Everybody got going. Conazari, Mac, Coronato, Kadri, Huberdeau. I was skeptic at first when they broke the lines, but now that they did it, I feel like one player that I only question, Sharangovich. I don't know what to do about him. I heard he had couple good chances, but still struggling from what he had a wonderful season last season by breaking a French record for the most goal scorers by a Belarusian. Currently in a player spot pending the Blues game, 100%. I last heard that the Blues are up 3-1 against the Nashville Predators. We'll see how that goes. Nashville Predators have struggled. So we'll see if that struggle continues for the Nashville team. We'll keep an eye on that. We won't be able to update you the entire game, but we'll see how it goes all through along. For the first period stats, face off, New York just won 11. 8 by Calgary. Power plays were 1-for-1 for Calgary. I think that special teams also worked, because at one point, if you saw the game, New York Rangers were absolutely flat on their power play. The penalty killing was amazing. Mackenzie Weegar and all the penalty killers. That has been strong. Hits were 18 Calgary, 12 New York, and shots were 14 Calgary and 5 New York. So that's the first period. Of course, they did have starting troubles, but they ended up perfectly. Although I would say that last minute or so wasn't as perfect as I would like. It was amazing, and good job to the Flames getting it done on a back-to-back. AKA is asking who's your favorite NHL player, not Flames related necessarily. Currently, right now, I'm so intrigued or love how. Oh, you're gonna put me in a tough spot. If it is a former NHL player, I'm gonna go with Jerome Gilla. He was so amazing. If it's a current NHL player. Oh boy. Um, who should I say? Um, Probably Nathan McKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche, or even Kale McCarr. I hope Kale McCarr as a Calgary hopefully ends as a Calgary Flames player in the near future. Uh, okay, Mets fan 27 says, Blues fan here, we need your Flames to start losing. Mets, some fans would like that, but the Flames decide to surprise again today. Um, it's a totally unique situation. Um, we'll see where it goes. Good luck to the Blues. I know they're up 3-1 right now against the Nashville Predators. Um, Especially if you're a Flames fan looking for a high draft pick, you definitely want to see reach that top 10 pick, but it's gonna be to the nail. There are 3-4 teams fighting right now: Vancouver Canucks, Calgary Flames, St. Louis Blues, Utah Hockey Club. I think Ducks is also hanging around somewhere in there. I know they have some more points to cover, but they are also hanging around. So, yeah, this is not done yet, and I think until the last game of this season, and that's at least for the Flames, April 17th against the LA Kings, we won't know a full definite answer who gets into the playoffs. Flames have games in hand. Um, it's gonna be a tough conversation indeed. I don't remember a season that has been as close as this. Maybe hockey fans, if you have been a hockey fan longer than me, let me know if you have seen it so close and so tight in the wildcard race spot. Um, it should be a fun race indeed, as Miss Fan 27 says. Alright, let's head into the second period. If you have no other thoughts or comments, we appreciate you hanging out today, this Tuesday evening with us. Feel free to share this video, like this video, and subscribe as well. We always appreciate your fan support as always. And if you want to join us continuously, do so. We always love the interaction, as you know. Let me hit you with another quick ad read. I apologize, but we'll get things right underway. But looking for ways to start an up media company, employing over 30 young journalists like me. I'm in the broadcast news program at SAIT here in Calgary and analysts across Canada. If you have few spare bucks kicking around, you can head to our Patreon page at the patreon.com slash the Game Over Network. There you'll find multiple tiers for different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. You can get extra access, exclusive look behind the scenes, and Discord benefits, and much discount opportunities to give us feedback. And you can join us for special shows. We had one during the Four Nations Face Off, so if you're interested for something like that, please do help us out. That's patreon.com slash thegameovernetwork.com for tantalizing goodies. Alright, let's get into the second period. Impressive game thus far, considering a back-to-back. If you're a team that's going to define the odds, I think this is one game you should be watching for the Flames, especially if you fell low yesterday after the Toronto Maple Leafs toppling the Flames. The Toronto Maple Leafs scored 3 power play goals. I think this one was the one for the Flames. Rangers could have had a shot and a goal, but Dan Vlada was right there. Flames was buzzing all around the second period. Frost had a beautiful chance. Loved Morgan Frost tonight. Loved Joel Hanley tonight. Farabee had a good chance. Pospisil had a breakaway even though he took a penalty. That's one thing I didn't like this game. Possibly the penalty, but again, penalty killing was amazing. Rooney won a face-off in the penalty kill, and excellent penalty killing for the Flames. I almost heard boos on the background on the broadcast. Rangers fans were not happy, and we frustrated the Rangers fans. If you're a Rangers fan watching on the chat line now, I'm sorry. Let me know what went wrong in your game tonight. Really appreciate the thoughts and comments. But yeah, it was in the best game for the Rangers. Igor Shesterkin, however, though, made some key saves, and I would say he was one of the best MVP for you guys out there in the net. If it wasn't for Igor Shesterkin, it would have been maybe a 5-1 score, 6-1 score. But again, the Flames have trouble scoring. You run into a hot goaltender. This is what it happens. But the Flames somehow come up with a 2-1 win against the New York Rangers. Yeah, I think overall it was an impressive game, especially considering it's a back to back. But like many of us have said in the chat already, games that we need to win, we lose. And the games that we need to lose, we win. Ryan Higginbottom says, "You're the man. Keep up the hustle and grind, my guy. Go Blues." We got a certain number of Blues fans here. Welcome aboard. I'm not sure where you got the invite from, but welcome indeed, Ryan and Miss fans. Couple of Blues fans who are tuning in. I think we'll get to see more Blues fans. Invite all your Blues fans. Bring a whole group of Blues fans. It will be interesting how of course, the playoff run goes, how goes the postseason, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to nail race. And there was nothing much in terms of scoring in the second period. It was all kind of pressure from the Flames. Somehow they couldn't just find it in the back of the net, maybe for one more or two more extra for the cushion. But somehow the Flames continued to play a defensive brand of hockey, and that's what's giving them success, I guess. Maybe yesterday that didn't happen because, Maple Leafs have certain power forwards. Austin Matthews, AM34, William Nylander, Nick Robinson. But interesting though how the Flames rebound each game back. They gave also Dustin Wolf rest tonight because there is a lot more hockey left ahead. Flames fans, don't forget we play the I believe it's the New Jersey Devils next. If I look at Calgary, hold on. Yeah, it's the New Jersey Devils, the New York Islanders, and then I believe it's back at home against the Kraken and the Stars. And then we have the Battle of Alberta coming up on March 29th. I believe I'm heading up the QE2 to go watch that game, so that will be interesting. So, a pretty hockey packed schedule for the Flames coming up, and you definitely want to deploy the right resources. One thing I would say, keep the lines as it is. It's always fantastic to see what it can jump through. And I think, for example, Zari Khatri Coronado line is one of the perfect lines. I think head coach Ryan Aska drew up tonight, and hope he continues to keep the same. Alright, let's head into the third period. This time brought to you by, I'll just say quickly, my social media. If you want to follow us on social media or if you want to connect with me, I am at CJY_Anand. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you can find me. I'm available also on LinkedIn and Facebook. If you want to follow me, send me a friend request. I would just let me know you watch me through Game Over Calgary. I'll be glad to interact with you. Or you can join our Discord as well. And Blue Sky as well at the GameOverNetwork.com. Do give us a follow. Do stay tuned to each and every show if you have liked it. Of course, once again, I'll say like the video, subscribe, and much more. We always appreciate your support. Alright, let's head into the third period. This is where I would like some of your interactions, your thoughts. Are the playoffs dwindling for the Flames? Is it narrowing? Is it still alive? And we'll do some out of town scoreboard checks, and we'll do some overall thoughts as well. So we'll start off with, if you agree, the Flames playoffs are dwindling. That means narrow. Let us know. If you think the Flames playoff hopes are dwindling, let us know. Hit the chat below. If you think the playoff hopes are alive and you want the Flames to be in the playoffs, let me know in the chat. or your overall thoughts of this game in general and your out of town and we'll look at the out of town scoreboard as well. Miss Fan 27 says subscribed. Thank you so much, Miss Fan. Welcome to the Game Over Calgary group. Do go check out our other markets as well. We have Game Over Edmonton, we have Game Over Toronto, Winnipeg, and so on. Go check them out. Ryan Higginbotham says huge Insta fan. Your content is fantastic. Thank you, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you hanging out on this Tuesday evening with me rather. So, players that have stood out tonight for me. We'll do an overall thoughts first, and then we'll gauge the chat for thoughts. But players that have stood tonight for me: Joel Hanley. He's been fantastic. How from he was treated as the eighth defenseman all the way to a second pairing with Hanley and Bigger. That's impressive. Morgan Frost wins faceoffs for us, has sneaky hands, has sneaky moments. Just want to buy a goal again. Joel Farabee almost scored a goal on almost a breakaway, but that play got slowed down. Blake Coleman unfortunately goes offside to seal the game. That was the 3-1 goal, but the situation room called it offside, and it was indeed offside. It was not like yesterday where that unconclusive evidence of the offside play against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me know that play too, what you thought. Was it offside or not against the Toronto Maple Leafs? But they get the job done, the Calgary Flames that is, and now enter a playoff spot, I believe, using the tiebreaker rules. But it will all depend upon your out of town scoreboard as well, where there are two important games. Well, technically three right now. So the Blues and Predators are Blues leading 3-1. Go Blue. Like some of your Ryan and Miss fans are saying go Blues 3-1. There is the Vancouver Canucks and the Jets also. The Vancouver Canucks have surprisingly a 1-0 lead against the Winnipeg Jets, and the Oilers are up 3-0 against the Utah Hockey Club. So, lots to keep an eye out for. Unfortunately, I won't be able to sit here all day long to update you all the scores, although I would love to. But keep an eye out on the out of town scoreboard. It's going to be interesting and fascinating where the Flames end up tonight. It could be a situation where the Flames jump out again out of a wildcard spot. Let me see if it's officially official that they're in a wildcard spot now. Looks like they haven't updated yet. I'm going to do a quick refresh. With the win tonight, the Flames have indeed entered the wildcard 2 spot, 31, 25 and 11 record with 73 points. Chasing right behind is the Vancouver Canucks, the St. Louis Blues and the Utah Hockey Club. Anaheim Ducks is not far behind, 65 points. Do they catch up eventually? That's all something to think about. For your schedule wise, for the Calgary Flames, it's going to be, let's see, where am I at? So New York Rangers got done. It's going to be the New Jersey Devils next. Hopefully it's going to be a Dan Vladar or Dustin Wolf versus Jacob Markstrom. I don't know if he's back fully yet. I might have to double check on that and let you guys know. That one, Matt and Marek will have the post game show. Then it will be the New York Islanders with Conrad. Then Seattle Kraken with Matt. And then Dallas Stars with Conrad. And then we most likely will have a crew up in Edmonton for the Battle of Alberta and the Colorado Avalanche. Me or Conrad will have that one. So I'm off for a while. So hopefully you tune in and enjoy the rest of the crew as well. Ryan Higginbotham says it's going to be a hell of a race for the playoffs, 100%. Whichever team makes it, we'll talk about their determination. We'll talk about how they've survived. If it's the Flames, it's the Flames. If it's the St. Louis Blues, if it's the new transformed Utah Hockey Club, whether it be a lot of different options. And indeed, it will be a hell of a race to get through. Looks like the Edmonton Oilers might have scored another one by the sounds of it. So we'll make that 4-0. And that's some resilience from the Edmonton Oilers. Let's head into the fourth period and wrap this show up and bring your final thoughts and conclusions while I have you here. But in the meantime, if you want to check this QR code to my right, um, this is our apparel store. If you want to get some merch, including this fantastic hoodie, if you want to get this cup, if you I don't know what's the weather in St. Louis Blues right now. If you want to have a good cup of coffee or a hot chocolate before going to bed or waking up, you can do so. Or you can get this t-shirt as well, always available for you on our GameOverNetwork.com page. Hopefully you can support us. Thanks for subscribing as well. Alright, it's time to hit the chat line, the overtime line that I like to call it. If you have any final thoughts, questions, comments, let me know. I'll go through them, but I'm gonna scroll all the way up and make sure I didn't miss any thoughts or comments. I'll start with Matsy. Matsy, thanks for hanging out. We talked about if you need to win, we lose. If you need to lose, we win. One step back, one step forward. Blooder got a win, indeed. JC says, can't wait until we give the Montreal the 11th pick. Once again, I'm a little confused again about the draft pick. I think I'll wait until in the near future when everything solidifies, make sure the standings don't all change all of a sudden. Then we'll talk about the pick, how it goes. So stand by for that. Even experts are confused how this pick will go. So hopefully we'll have a clarity later down the road. Let's see, JC, AK, ACM, Miss Fans, and Ryan Higginbotham. I think that's about it. I covered everything. I'll keep the chat line open for a couple more moments. Otherwise, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Once again, the next game for the Calgary Flames is on Thursday, March 20th. That's in 2 days' time. So 1 day break. I don't know what their plan is. If they stay in New York or around the New Jersey area, get some practice done or skate, or do they take a complete day off? We'll wait and see. Pat Steinberg, Derek Wills of Sportsnet 960, usually good sources for that. And then after that, to Saturday to close out the road trip against the New York Islanders. So far, it's an 1-1-0 road trip. Still have 2 more games left. If they can get maybe another couple more points, maybe like a 3-1-0 road trip, I think that's going to be really successful if you're a fan now wanting to be in the playoffs because of how the draft isn't as great as next year is projected to be, or if you want the team to still tank or still draft at a high position, then you want it to go the other way around. We'll all wait and see. Time will tell. Until then, enjoy the ride, be patient, and I think you should maybe underlyingly appreciate how the Flames have come this way so far. Thanks for watching Game Over Calgary. Once again, like I said, Matt and Marek will have the post-game show next on Thursday, March 20th against the New Jersey Devils. We'll wait for starting goaltenders and the starting lineup and pairings. Until then, have a great week ahead. Have a great weekend. And take it easy.